We've seen it 5 sets once again. Novak Djokovic is through to the finals here at the Australian Open. Mats, the level of tennis, did it meet your expectation today?
It didn't really, because of what we've seen in the last 2 years here. It's two of the best matches I think anyone has ever seen. And maybe that's what got to both players at different times in the match, that Wawrinka was maybe pressing too much, going for a little bit too much and making too many unforced errors. And Djokovic maybe sort of being too passive, which is what he said in the on-court interview afterwards, that obviously, I'm not sure you heard it at home, but waiting for Wawrinka to make the mistake, which is exactly what happened towards the end of the match.
So take us through to that first set there. Wawrinka was up a break already, 4-3, and then he got the re-break right away, didn't he? What happened there? What did he do wrong? Or was he too passive, you think?
Well, he just didn't capitalize on being up a break, but again, it was hard to read of what was going on. Obviously, Novak relies on his movement, and it seemed like he was more focused when he was down, Novak, and he relaxed a little bit, and I think his body language was maybe better when he was down, because it has to be. But the first set, I mean, after all, the first set was maybe the best set of all of them, even though you walked away from the first set and you were, what happened? But again, Novak, a little bit sharper. That topspin lob was a beautiful little flick.
And in the tiebreak, Novak Djokovic was a little bit lucky in the first couple of points, and then it was just all going his way, wasn't it? A bit lucky.
Definitely a bit lucky. Sometimes you create your own luck by being the better player, by getting to more balls, by keeping the ball in play. But then a little bit surprising. Obviously, Wawrinka started playing a little bit better in the second set. He started going for his shot. They started going in. He was the aggressor. But again, it was very hard to sort of come back and try to commentate and sort of had any idea of what was going to happen next.
It was once again his backhand, I think, in the second set, which was on fire. It's amazing how much power is behind that backhand. We talked about it and compared it a little bit with Roger Federer's backhand. Very, very different. He's just playing with so strong, just with muscles.
It's so strong, great timing, and I think, if anything, Djokovic, I think what he realizes is that you have to dictate the rallies a little bit so you can get Wawrinka running, because he doesn't defend as well and he doesn't move as well as Djokovic. I mean, Djokovic moves so well. This shot could most probably go down as the best shot during the 2 weeks, because it was very risky, it was a very important part of the match, and somehow he pulled it off. And sometimes that signals to your opponent that you don't really believe in yourself.
So he was up 2-love already in the fourth set, Novak Djokovic. He had the break. What happened then? Did he just drop the intensity level a little bit?
Absolutely. I think he dropped his intensity level at various times in this match, and especially when he was ahead. He was up a break in the third, fourth, and obviously in the fifth set that he pulled away and won. But yeah, I think he dropped it. I think Wawrinka relaxed a little bit, and again, that backhand down the line, it's such a good shot. But a disappointing fifth set, you would have to say. But it all happened in the first game. If Wawrinka can break Djokovic's serve straight away, then suddenly he's up, and then turns around and Djokovic breaks the second game. But I think a very relieved Djokovic. I have to say, sort of a strange body language match for him, but it's about winning. And somehow he managed to sort of play pretty well the whole match, even though it didn't look like he appreciated the way he played himself.
The momentum changed plenty of times in that match. Was that a surprise to you? I mean, the world #1, you know, usually when he's up a break, you know, he's fine with it. But it changed so many times.
I think that's up to Wawrinka. I think that Djokovic, I think that the idea was to keep the ball in play. Don't beat yourself. Let Wawrinka do all the talking. And most probably, I'm still going to be winning if I'm Djokovic, because I can run down more balls and Wawrinka is going to miss. And he was spot on at the end, Djokovic.
Okay, now it's time to have a listen to what Novak Djokovic said after this match is down with Robert.
We're here with world #1 Novak Djokovic. Novak, congratulations, you've advanced to the finals. As always here at the Australian Open, it was a tough battle against Wawrinka. The better end for you. What does it mean for you reaching the fifth final here in Australia?
It means a lot, of course, winning against the top player, defending champion, and the guy who was playing some great tennis, probably his best tennis on this court. So we had great battles in the past 2 years. It was no different this time, except that you know, the fifth set went completely my way, and just glad to be able to stay tough and fight. You know, I haven't played on a level that I wanted to play. Honestly, there were flashes in a match. Some periods where I performed as well as I intended, but there were also big parts of the match where I was too defensive and just making a lot of unforced errors. But again, that's the moment. That's the semifinals of a Grand Slam, and it's normal to go through the tense emotions.
We've seen you were quite harsh on yourself a few times, but how do you manage to stay in the game, to stay that focus and show the maturity at the end to win it?
Well, of course, we both are on the court with intention to play our best and to get into the finals. It's a lot at stake, and so it's normal, to get emotional, and you go through ups and downs. You try to encourage yourself. Sometimes you get frustrated. He was making me play always an extra shot. He had a huge depth in his rallies. It was really not easy to play against him tonight. But I'm glad that I went through.
Next up is Andy Murray in the finals. He's also having an outstanding tournament so far. What will it take to beat him?
Well, it's not going to be any different from tonight, and maybe even a tougher match. So I'm going to need to play the best match of the tournament in order to win, and it's normal to expect that because that's finals, and he's, as you mentioned, in a great form, and looking forward to that.
Congratulations, you've played well, and good luck for the final.
So the world #1, a little bit critical about the way he played today. Wasn't overly happy. What do you think, in your opinion, he has to step up in the finals against Andy Murray?
I think he has to serve better. Because we've seen him in the first 5 matches of this tournament. He served extremely well. He had a high percentage first serve, and he's hitting his spots, making a lot of aces, and holding serve very easily. And today, there were times when he served well, but he couldn't rely on his serve. And I think against Andy Murray, no, he doesn't have to hit a lot of aces to beat Andy Murray, but it will help him. It'll make him feel more relaxed, and it'll put pressure on Andy Murray's serve. But I think he knows he's going to have to step it up a little bit, because Andy Murray at this moment is the favorite. But of course, Djokovic has won 4 of these before. Andy Murray has not. Djokovic has beaten Murray twice in the final. So I think Djokovic is happy he's through, and he knows the finals is a completely different story.
He also said today that he felt a little bit tired throughout the match in that 4th set. He bounced back on the 5th set. Do you think that's still a few leftovers from that virus he had, before the tournament, or why do you think he just feels a little bit tired?
I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to guess, but I think playing against Wawrinka, he's so up and down at times and hits so many great shots. And
maybe it was not physically tired, maybe it was mentally tired.
I think so. And also I have to say the crowd is usually with the underdog, but they're definitely with Stan Wawrinka because he's so exciting and when he hits these great shots. And as the #1 in the world, having won there 4 times, that's can be deflating, I guess. So I think he fought hard, and obviously Stan Wawrinka, I mean, a great tournament. Semi-finals after being the defending champion. To survive the first week and get to his seed, which was #4, got to the semi-finals. That's what we hoped for, expected. I think it's a great effort, and really, he's there to stay.
And it's the first time he actually had to do that, defend a Grand Slam title. The pressure was completely on him when he came here, and he got better and better throughout the tournament, even though he lost today.
I think he did, and I have to say, this is most probably not the best match that he played. Played better against Kei Nishikori, but again, it's up against Novak Djokovic. It's a completely different challenge. But in the end, you are out there to win. And Djokovic managed to win this match, playing not his best, not being maybe in the best mood, but somehow he's a great match player, Novak, and he just doesn't go away.